not only are we taking an epic trip this summer, we're not even sure if we're gonna keep our RV after the trip. So before we commit, and before I tell you where we're heading, I have two very important questions. Number one, are we actually ready for this? And number two, how cool is Fredericksburg, Texas? Yes, we're testing all of it in Texas, because if we can't figure out how far we can even go in one day, or if we can find campsites without reservation, or how to manage fuel issues we didn't see coming, or we've got some serious problems. So yep, we picked the super cool German town of Fredericksburg, Texas. You know, just a mere 1,800-mile trip, and we turned that little journey into our test lab. To wine hop by day, so many epic wineries, and to face real-world RV stress testing in between. And along the way, we ran into things we didn't expect, including issues that could completely change our plans moving forward. But what did we learn? Are we ready for our epic summer trip? And where is said summer trip? I'm Leslie, and if you're new to RVing like we are, or if you have any interest in the cool town of Fredericksburg, Texas, let's hit the road together. It's test time. So come on already, let's go. Yep, we're heading to Fredericksburg. This is a 900-mile each way journey for us. But why? Why Fredericksburg? What's going on with the RV? And why now? All great questions. Fredericksburg is literally Germany, but in Texas. So why not, right? And Fredericksburg is one of the fastest growing wine regions in the US with over 100 wineries. So again, why not? And now, because we want to test our longevity and our ability on the road. This will be the longest we've been in this RV since we purchased it almost a year ago. Roy's never driven a truck or pulled a single thing, and we have a huge plan for our summer, but more on that later. How long can we drive comfortably? How do we hold up? Do we have any issues with the fifth wheel before our warranty ends? And what, if any, problems do we face? We shall see, but first we need to get there.
On the road, 6:30.
6:30, great job. We were shooting for 7 on our road to Texas. Longest trip in the history of our RVing whole resume. And we are excited and ready. You excited and ready?
So excited.
Let's do it. We aren't huge road trip fans, but we do travel together very well. So a bit of sightseeing along the way never hurt anyone. This is the site of the westernmost Civil War battle, Picacho Peak in Arizona. Yep, a Civil War battle happened right here in the Arizona desert in 1862. It's known as the Battle of Picacho Pass. It's the furthest west the Civil War ever reached. And for any hikers out there, there's a steel cabled hike that goes up to the top of the peak that is amazing, but not for the faint of heart. Also nearby this is the Pinnell Air Park Aircraft Storage Facility. Sounds boring, but literally there's 2,000 acres with hundreds of airplanes parked in the desert. Some even die here. Think long-term storage, some maintained, some parted out, and some even reactivated and flown again. Just the first random, bizarre roadside attraction, one of many. Our first challenge comes right out of the gate, getting fuel. We won't even talk about the stupid cost of diesel fuel right now. But obtaining gas with 50 plus feet of a rolling home is definitely a challenge. Originally, I think I'm gonna use the Gas Buddy app to find the cheapest gas. If you're not familiar with Gas Buddy, RVing or otherwise, it is a great app. It tells you all the gas station prices. So, you know, you might be able to go 5 more minutes, but save a boatload on gas. So highly recommend it. However, with an RV, it's not ideal because although it finds the cheapest stations, it doesn't always find the ones that are navigatable. And keep in mind, our truck and our RV together are about 51 feet. So we abandoned the whole Gas Buddy idea and decided to focus more on Lowe's, Flying J kind of truck stop apps. we decide we're also going to test out the semi-truck lane. When you're in the gas station, there's the regular pumps, and then off to the side at truck stops, you have where the semi-trucks all go through. So we're kind of thinking like, why couldn't RVers go through there? So of course I Google it, and sure enough, RVers go through there all the time. So we head that way. It just makes it easy because you can pull right through, right? But all the semi-trucks are doing typically commercial accounts. So these pumps are set up for commercial credit cards. So they don't take personal credit cards. So I had to go into the gas station, I get the gas, I come back out, don't realize I have to pay separately for the DEF fluid that we need. So I have to go back in, and it just turned into a whole circus. However, we figured it out. So the truck stops are definitely on our to-do list for all of our fuel stops going forward. Extensively advertised by signs along the Interstate 10 in Arizona are advertisements for The Thing. Although intriguing, because there are literally hundreds of signs, we are not going to pull over to find out what it is. One of the stories is a mother and child were illegal border crossers in the 1880s, and they were shot by cowboys. Their mummified bodies are housed in this museum. This bizarre, quirky museum now also has a dinosaur theme because, you know, of course, dinosaurs, and a gift shop. No stop for us, the signs were enough. But if you were ever in this area, you definitely want to stop in Chiricahua National Park. It's called Wonderland of Rocks for a reason. This national park is thousands of hoodoos volcanically created 27 million years ago that look like they were all individually hand stacked. Just super cool. I camped here with my girlfriend and hiked the entire park. The visitor center and the park rangers at the visitor center were incredible. A must stop if you're in this area in Arizona. Once on the other side of Chiricahua though, it is boring. So let's talk trip prep. Okay, so first we need to restock and clean it. Okay, I'm attempting to fill and clean without pulling the slides out because we are at a bit of a decline in the neighborhood and I don't want to be too intrusive to the neighbors. So first and foremost, mule mug needs to go in the freezer. That maybe I got in chili. She goes everywhere with me. I always wash the sheets after each trip, so I'm gonna remake the bed. I love the smell of clean sheets. This is actually a duvet cover, so if it's cold, we have a comforter we can put in it. But as you can probably see, I'm sweating like a crazy woman because it's hot in Arizona already. And so most of the time we kick it off. I'm also gonna give this bathroom a quick clean. And I got the coolest mat. That mat lays across the sink and gives a hard surface. Since there's not a lot of surface room here, it allows me to put my blow dryer and curling iron and everything on it, a flat across there. We always pull our Starlink out and we travel with Starlink for the internet. And this thing is the Mini, and oh my God, I don't even know what I would do without Starlink. Thank you, Elon. Thank you, Starlink. Love you. Look at that too. It's a storage pillow. So it sits on our bed, but inside it is an extra blanket, the cover for our sofa, the insert for the duvet. Oh, I love it. It's called Storage Pillow. This is a good time to ask, if you're an RVer, how far is the longest you've traveled in one day or you feel comfortable traveling in one day? Put it in the comments. I would love to hear. That is part of our test. How far is the longest road trip you think we've ever done? Vegas?
I think I've done Denver with you.
No, and I've only driven to Denver once because that is no fun. Boring. So probably LA, 6 hours. We have 6 hours to get to El Paso, the exciting town of El Paso, Texas. And then we have about 7 hours to get from El Paso to Fredericksburg, where we're going. See how this goes. This is a make or break trip for us. Roy loves it. Our fifth wheel and our truck are here to stay. If he's not a huge fan, my Brooklyn love It's gone. All of it's gone. Unless it's getting herself a new hot rod.
Back up first class airfare.
Yes. We are 4 hours in. This 4 hours went like that. So we are doing great. This is the longest, officially the longest we have been in this truck with pulling this RV, and it has been impeccably smooth. So first leg, we stopped in, where are we? San Simon, which this is the extent of San Simon. Literally a gas station. There's nothing out here. So next stop is El Paso, which should be equally as exciting. We'll see. We have 3 hours until we get to El Paso, which is our planned overnight stop and our only stop. It's so pretty with all the wildflowers out here.
Made it.
Welcome to New Mexico. Okay, first leg down. We're in New Mexico. How do you feel?
Real strong. Real good. It's everything. I think that's what I'm all about. Feeling great to be in New Mexico. Land of Breaking Bad.
Yes, look at how exciting New Mexico is. Wow, so cool. And we officially crossed the Continental Divide. Fun fact here about the Continental Divide. On the west side of the divide, water flows towards the Pacific Ocean. And on the east side of the Continental Divide, water flows toward the Gulf of Mexico. We start discussing potential camp spots for El Paso. Originally, we planned on staying overnight at the Elks Lodge in El Paso. Many Elks Lodges have RV spots. They're first come, first serve. I thought I had checked it. Come to find out, the El Paso one does not have RV spots. So we start kicking into, do we stop at a campground? What other options do we have? And we found 2 casinos. The first one has hookups. So we figure we're gonna try that one first, and if there's a problem, we'll go to the second one. The second one's no hookups, and it's just anywhere in the parking lot. So we try the first one, which is Sunland Casino and Racetrack. And you might tell from the look on my face, we stayed, and it was so cool. And just like that, we're out of New Mexico and officially in Texas. The security escorts us to the last rail site, front row spot with electricity and water, all for $15. Oh my gosh, we totally scored a awesome spot. Okay, it's not a campground, but it's an awesome spot at a casino. We're in the very last spot. How cool is that? Look at that view. How awesome is that? Cheers to Texas.
To Texas.
To Texas.
Lone Star.
Now, in and of itself, that may or may not sound cool to you. I thought it was cool, but wait for it. Look at this. Waking up to the sound of racing horses, the sound of the hooves, the pitch dark, the silence, short of the horses, that will stay with me forever. And we're off. Appropriately serenaded by Elton John's song Harmony. We named our RV Harmony. 7 hours to Fredericksburg, and here we come. Although it is super boring between El Paso and 290, which is our turnoff to get down to Fredericksburg, we are sailing through this trip. We have 0 problems so far. The amount of time we spent in the truck yesterday getting to El Paso was no problem. We are having a blast, and so far so good. Before we knew it, we're rolling into the cutest German town of Fredericksburg. Fredericksburg was named after Prince Frederick of Prussia, not a local Texan. A Texas town named after a European royal. Of course, very on brand for how unique this little town is. It's famous for exploding bluebonnets, peaches, wineries, and Admiral Nimitz. Nimitz, the Pacific War Fleet Admiral, was born here in Fredericksburg, and it's right next door to another very well-known little town but I'll get to that later. We're greeted in Bending Oak RV Park with an entire judging panel of all of our friends with handwritten signs with numbers on them. So as we pull into our spots, they can rate our pull-in and setup. Here's our campground. And the best thing about this campground is that it's 21 and older, and no shade to people who camp with their kids, but I don't camp with kids and I don't want to camp with kids. So this is so quiet and it's so beautiful out here. All the spots have trees and picnic tables and pull-throughs, and it's beautiful. Meanwhile, at the campground, we got these guys, Texas Longhorns. Look at that. Wow. That one in the back, the black one, is humongous. Oh, there's another one over here too. Look at this one. Oh my gosh. We had to get some famous German food at a beer garden in town, and that will be the extent of what we saw of this town. We obviously saw it driving in and we saw it driving out, but we did not go back into town at all. I really wish we had, because it looked so fun with all kinds of little shops and restaurants and bars, but we had bigger plans here in Fredericksburg. Wait for it. Our second challenge came immediately upon parking in the RV park, our AC. Now we have a brand new fifth wheel with an air conditioning unit in the main part of the RV. It's not that, it's a 31-foot RV, it's not huge. So certainly 15,000 BTU should be plenty. But yeah, it was struggling to try to cool down. And you know, it was Texas hot, but still. So that immediately goes on our warranty list. What is going on with the air conditioning unit? Or do we in fact need a second unit in our bedroom? So another opportunity in the comments. I would love to hear how big your unit is and whether you have one or two air conditioning units, if it's a Furrion, and what you think of it. Put it in the comments. Our plan, instead of, you know, wandering the little town and checking it out, is wineries. Remember I said they have over 100 wineries here, and this is the fastest growing wine region in the United States. And we are going to hit a boatload of them. And the first one is Winery. And what better name to name your winery when you're concerned about rhino conservation than Winery? Love that. Blake is their resident VIP, a 7-year-old southern white rhino. After a South American trip seeing rhinos poached, the Castleberries wanted to do what they could to protect these incredible animals. Bringing them to a private reserve was more complicated than they imagined here in Texas, so they needed money and land to support that effort. So they hatched an incredible idea of combining a winery with the desire to protect rhinos. And here we are. No. No. And what an incredible idea. We did a tasting here, spent time with Blake, and called it a beautiful stop to the start of all of our winery visits. Next up is the Safari Winery, a family winery from the 1800s and one that prides itself on wines from all over the world. A tasting and a charcuterie plate was a perfect precursor to visit the kangaroos. We're in Texas. Rhinoceros, kangaroos, what's next? The roos reflect this family's continued commitment to celebrating wildlife and culture from around the world, from their wines to the newest animal friends. Some nachos at the Blackstone back at camp, and we're out. Which, on a side note, another opportunity in the comments, who grills on a Blackstone? In an RV, at their house, or anywhere? I am so late to this party, but I got one, and it is, no joke, life-changing. If you don't have one, trust me, run out and buy one today. And I'm not endorsed by Blackstone. Have your people call my people. But holy grill, amazing. And not to be total winos, we take in the Fredericksburg Farmers Market and a legendary first stop. Does anyone recognize this?
Let's go to Lukenbach, Texas, Waylon and Willie and the boys.
This entire town is only here in tribute to this song. I want to see some true lasso over your head. He's from Brooklyn. Give him a break. Oh, almost. All right, does he do it? Does he do it? Third time's the charm. Oh no. And he gives up. But as not to be deterred, we're back. Grape Creek Winery, you're up. We love this one so much, we signed up for their wine membership, and yes, they can ship to Arizona. Grape Creek is the oldest winery on the 290. 290 is the road that brought us in here to Fredericksburg. Their vineyard and grounds are gorgeous. And we even saw this wine shuttle. Listen to this. They will take you to as many wineries as you'd like here in Fredericksburg, and all for just $49.95. That is brilliant. I love that idea. With pickups at each winery every 15 minutes, so you can stay as long or short as you want. What a convenient, affordable, and fun way to enjoy the Texas wine country. And we have a quick stop at 1693, a whiskey, tequila, and beer stop. And one that some in our group had already been to earlier in the day. But we had to check out their sweet potato old fashioned. Another quiet sunset back at camp and a beautiful end to a beautiful day. After adding assess the level system to our warranty checklist, we realized that we've been unhooking the fifth wheel and leveling it incorrectly this whole time. It was causing the wheels to come off the ground. So we have now figured that out. With our summer trip, we have a lot of leveling and unhooking and leveling a lot. Now that I've teased about this epic summer RV trip, I want to share it with you. It's Alaska! We are caravanning for 3 months through Alaska, and we are so excited. All of these friends that we met in Fredericksburg are all going. So not only are we doing a test of our own system and ability on our way to Fredericksburg, we've been planning for over a year now, but kind of fine-tuning all of the incidentals before we leave in June for 3 months to Alaska. Think Waterton, Banff, Jasper, Homer, and even the Arctic Circle. We are flying to go see the Arctic Circle. It is not polar bear season when we're there, but pray for us that we see polar bears. And we have one last extraordinary stop at the Becker Winery. This stop, this winery, this tour, the wine was our absolute favorite and might be in the top 3 tours and wineries that we have been at in the world. We loved it. This winery is absolutely remarkable, and not just for the wine either. The winery, originally a vacation home, if you can believe that, the tour, the guide, the cellar, and of course the incredible wine. Dr. Becker fell in love with the Viognier in France, the white grape from the Rhone region in France, and was inspired to bring it here to Texas. going from 2 tanks and 5 barrels to 78 tanks and 5,500 barrels. Becker became the largest producer in Texas. They're also the first vineyard to introduce Malbec to Texas. The Becker Winery hosted President Bush on a presidential dinner, as well as hosting a huge presidential dinner in the White House with James Beard pairings. They are not messing around here at Becker, and it shows on every level.
How crazy cool is that?
And on Labor Day, they even have a Lucy stomping. Remember I Love Lucy? The whole episode of her stomping the grapes, they reenact that here in Becker on Labor Day. Y'all know where I'll be for Labor Day.
It's hard to believe.
Look at that. We loved Becker Winery, and it was the absolute perfect way to end our stay in Fredericksburg. We hitch up and we're right back on the road to head home. Will we dread the drive back, having to start all over again? And we were only in Fredericksburg for 4 days. It took us 2 to get here and 2 to get back. It's a long way to go for only 4 days. I packed us snacks for the car ride. We mastered the fuel in the truck lane like champs. We drove with no problem. We pulled right back into the casino again. We were able to get another spot, not railside, but we were able to catch a couple of the day races. And we had another extraordinary morning wake-up call to say goodbye to our absolutely perfect trip to Fredericksburg. We loved this casino so much, Sunland Casino and Racetrack, that we actually talked about coming back just to camp here and spend time at the casino and the racetrack. El Paso is but the casino, so cool. Kind of felt like Rat Packy and 70s vibe. I don't know. We loved it. It was really cool. And with that, it is a gold ribbon wrap on Fredericksburg. We've crossed over the New Mexico-Arizona border, and we are almost to our house. What do you think of our Texas trial run to our epic summer trip?
This was great.
Our drive there was...
Drive was long, but not bad at all.
Yeah, it was long, but not bad at all. Roy did most of the driving and back as well. But he did relinquish the reins a little bit. And we weren't sure about the Texas wine, but what do you think about the Texas wine?
Texas wine was awesome.
We brought a bunch of bottles back with us. We really liked it.
Really good.
We learned a bunch of stuff on the RV and everything we need. But overall, great trip to Texas. We had a blast. When we left, Roy was concerned. He just was worried about how long are we gonna wanna drive on a day-to-day basis. And in Alaska, we are stopping, going a lot. The whole setup, takedown, leveling, just the whole drive, the whole thing he was very concerned about, and that is off the list of concerns. We were so surprised how easy it was to drive. We determined 5-6 hours is really the sweet spot for us. We mastered the whole fuel thing. We have a list of warranty issues that were nothing that we can get resolved before we go. And we discovered that we can not only camp in campgrounds with or without reservations. We obviously have the Elks options, casinos. We discovered Cracker Barrel, Walmart, even several of the Love's truck stops had hookups at the truck stop. Not ideal, but at least an option in the event we're not able to find anything. And I signed up for Harvest Host. And if you don't know what Harvest Host is, it's everyone from private farms, private residences, wineries, churches that open their properties. So we are comforted in knowing that we have zero issue finding a camp spot that'll accommodate our vehicle and our RV no matter where we are in the country. that is 2 thumbs up. We have an absolute plan to make our way up to Cut Bank, Montana, which is where we're converging on the caravan of our friends to start our Alaska trip. And yeah, this could not have gone any better. Roy was so concerned, in fact, we agreed when we bought the truck and bought the 5th wheel that if this was not for us and we would use Alaska as our kind of breaking point, we were going to sell the entire thing, the truck, the 5th wheel, everything in it. It's got to go, and we will start over with plan B. And right now it is looking like the truck and Harmony are keepers. Now we still have Alaska to do, so we reserve the right to change that. But right now, based on this trip to Fredericksburg, we were so pleasantly surprised and so happy that everything we had hoped to be actually was. We are certainly prepared that things happen, things change. You have rough days, rough drives, rough stops, all of the above. But what is within our control, we are perfectly happy with. I got an open road card, which is kind of the commercial card that we need for the truck stops so that we can get gas right at the pump. We can get the DEF right at the pump. It's discounted at the pump, so yay, yay, yay. I got my CB radio call sign, like officially got it from the FCC. And we have CB radios for our entire caravan that have about a 7-mile range. These CB radios are the jam. And we have a complete Excel spreadsheet covering every possible Alaska related item. We are officially on Alaska countdown with 54 more sleeps to go. I'd love to know if you've ever been to Fredericksburg, Texas, you've ever planned a trip to Alaska, what you did, what you thought, where to absolutely go, where not to go, what not to miss. I feel like we've covered every possible base to make sure we're prepared and don't miss the things we want to see. But I would love to hear your thoughts and what you've done, and obviously your thoughts on the video today. I so appreciate you being here with me and always being part of my journeys, and bye for now.